Okay, Universal. This is a big stage, holy crap. Look at the size of this. We got Fear's lantern right there, look at it. 2 mini trusses have appeared right there. Okay guys, we're back at Universal Studios Florida. It's time for another Halloween Horror Nights 2026 update. We have new truss that appeared. A load of Easter eggs to go over. We got HHN Hollywood construction updates. We got the Fast and Furious coaster update we've been waiting for. But on that note, it's time to talk about the Halloween Horror Nights shirt of the day. We're going back to HHN 25. We got the horror alum, we got the director, we got Jack, we got the caretaker, we got the storyteller, and then we have Chucky. There's an urban legend about this shirt that originally it was supposed to be Bloody Mary in that spot. And there was like maybe 5 shirts that were sold with Bloody Mary on it, but then the rest were changed to Chucky. Because as you know, Universal doesn't have the rights to Bloody Mary. This is just the urban legend. I don't know if it's true or not. That's the legend behind why Chucky was on the shirt instead of like an actual kind of HHN icon for HHN 25. So on that note, let's roll the commercial.
Looks like I win again. Why not? Did you miss me?
Okay, welcome back. Let's head in. Time to head on in. Let's go see some new truss. The Minion is still being tongued down. The inflatable, I think, is toast. I don't think it's coming back. Apparently, the new Minions movie is getting like incredible reviews. I'm excited to see it. You know, we gotta pop into the Brown Derby, see what's going on. Any new merchandise? We need a Gabby's Dollhouse cat. That just popped up. Then they have another little Gabby's Dollhouse cat keychain. But then the Universe Jaws button-up has appeared. And then also kind of the Quint shirt with Bruce on the back. That says Quint right there. Not seeing anything new over here, but we're gonna pop into the 5 and Dime and see if there's anything that's changed or popped up. Nothing new with the lights or the truss on any of the T-trusses. You know, they got all the Hellraiser merch fully stocked here. They're displaying the back of the shirt and the front of the shirt. Really digging the design on the shirt. There's so many Easter eggs to go over. Okay, we have a long rundown to do. So they added this display, but then they just added this. This is all new. There's so much happening up there and around the entire store. Oh my God. We're just gonna go over this section. Literally gonna be spending probably like 5 or 6 hours researching everything. Like when you guys watch the Easter egg videos, it's like, oh, you know, there's an Easter egg, Kevin just showed off with 10 seconds of footage. But it literally takes me sometimes hours to track down photos and reference images and figure out where stuff is from. So that's why we're just gonna do this section today. Okay, there's so many Easter eggs to go over. Let the fun begin. So over here, we're gonna have the retro ride oil. This is all gonna be kind of Easter eggs to ride attractions. So over here, we're gonna have the ride vehicle for the Jaws attraction. Then for the Hanna-Barbera kind of Flintstones ride vehicle. Then we're gonna have the ride vehicle from Confrontation. Then we're gonna have the ride vehicle from E.T. And then the ride vehicle from Earthquake or Disaster. Over here is gonna be Terminator oil. This is gonna be actually in the window right next to the Bourne Stuntacular. It's kind of hidden between just standard oil cans is the Terminator oil, a nod to the old Terminator attraction. Over here in the back, we can see the tribute comic book, the first edition because it has the red cover. And then we also have one of the little coconut guys, which we saw pop up in the Revenge of the Dead Coconut Club. Tribby's Bonehead magazine. Tribby is the tribute store Halloween Horror Nights icon. King Kong and the Eighth Wonder of the World. We see this poster kind of pop up a lot on construction walls. Then we're going to see the Queen of Horror, the author of the original Frankenstein novel. If we did not have the original Frankenstein novel, we would not have the Frankenstein film, and we would not have Universal Studios as we speak, because that film and Universal Monsters film series saved the company. Then we have the Monster Makeover sign. This was that Monster Makeover experience that they had in Five and Dime. We did it, but it's a nod to what used to be in Five and Dime. Halloween mask. So it's like a nod to the old kind of plastic Halloween costume masks that you could buy. Now, all these kind of tiki versions of the Universal Monsters, well, we actually saw them in the All Hallows Lost Emporium in Islands of Adventure. They're kind of all throughout the store, but they've just kind of changed the colors a little bit. But that's a nod to the design from that store. The ship over here to the left, we can see that was one of the alien ships that was inside the Men in Black gift shop. Here we're going to see a scene from Boris Schuster's comic book. Up to the right, we're going to see the canvas that was for Batilda, which was a nod for the past HHN tribute stores. And then we're going to see one of the characters from also the comic book tribute store from the final room. But also we can see there's a little nod to Earl the Squirrel on the tree. Now, this is a slightly different version of the Universal Monsters, but also in the All Hallows Eve Lost Emporium, there's kind of a tiki version of all the Universal Monsters on the wall. So that's a nod to that in the All Hallows Eve Lost Emporium. Now above, there's like this tiki design that has Easter eggs for all the Universal Monsters films, but you can also see that in the All Hallows Eve Lost Emporium. This is going to be the Halloween Horror Nights mystery game. They actually made this game, and it was in the comic book shop's window. I wish I actually made this game because we would buy it, but it's a nod to all the Universal HHN icons right there. I'll even nod to the first room inside the comic book tribute store. This was also in the comic book tribute store. They had masks of like Jack the Clown right next to it and everything. But the mask off to the left is going to be from the Universal film, The Mole People, which also has an Easter egg inside Dark Universe. So there's kind of this like decrepit body, and that is a nod to the Mole People. The man, the myth, the legend, the curator. He's kind of like the icon also of the HHN tribute stores. Between the curator and Tribby, those are the two little main guys. Scary and scientific story. This is a scene inside the Boris Schuster comic book. Boris Schuster is solving the case of the murder ghost. Again, a nod to Boris Schuster's office inside the park and HHN lore. We can see the little demon guy. This is actually going to be from the comic book tribute store inside the diner. There's like the devil. And then also another nod to him. Spooky sounds to sleep by. With the Mega Movie video rental, again, nod to the summer tribute store with Mr. Tape. And then we have also over here on the other VHS tape, the classic 90s Universal Monsters logo. This was on everything. One of my favorite Easter eggs here. We got Fear's lantern right there. Look at it. Fear is still watching over the event, influencing it, but his lantern is there because he's still around. Music to die for. You're going to have a nod to spooky sounds of Halloween. We've seen this vinyl pop up twice in tribute stores, but it's a nod to Earl the Squirrel. Then we can also see the cemetery right there. That imagery has popped up inside the comic book tribute store with Meet the Bakers. That's a nod to the horror makeup show that was in the original lobby. You saw the same poster. Then we have the 3D creature head. That's going to be a nod to Revenge of the Dead Coconut Club, where we have the 3D version. Order yours today. The curator, they had a little curator model that we saw in last year's tribute store and also the comic book tribute store, but they made a box and then the actual model. So it's a nod to that. That was in the tribute stores. Then you have on this magazine, the Honey Island Swamp Monster. This is from the Mardi Gras tribute store from a couple years ago. And then also a nod for the Kitty Cat Club, which is a big part of HHN lore and Boris Schuster. And then Horror Adventure Comedy opens to lukewarm reviews. This is a nod to last year's HHN Mummy tribute store. Again, it was a very lukewarm reception to it. Some people weren't the biggest fan of it, but you can see some of the team right there. We saw that photo inside the tribute store, but that's when they found the Pythos, which kind of unleashed all those horrors upon the HHN tribute store last year. So that's just a rundown of some of the Easter eggs that I uncovered on this wall. We'll do more in the next HHN update. So if you look, it almost looks like this is like edges of like a film reel. There's a lot of cool stuff for old school Universal, for HHN, for new school Universal, a lot of stuff inside all the imagery. I just heard like a bunch of saw blades or something. You can hear them working on stuff. You can kind of peek through the window and the door. It looks like they're just removing the displays right now. They haven't built anything new. All right, into the scare zone we go. Has anything changed? Anything been plugged in? So normally a lot of the bigger set pieces come out after 4th of July because there's normally massive crowds. They don't want to have big set pieces out, so I'm sure we'll see stuff pop up. But nothing new with the truss. Nothing's been plugged into the box yet. And nothing's happened with the cords that are chilling back here. And then nothing has changed or appeared over here. But you know what has changed a little bit? The stuff Murdy's been talking about on Twitter.
There's John Murdy right there. John!
So someone asked John this, will we ever get an It/Pennywise maze? And John says, been trying for years, but the same could be said for Hellraiser until this year, so you never know. There were some talks, so maybe one day we might get It or Pennywise. My makeup artist just sent me the final pinhead. So many pins he had to create for these characters. I should make that the trivia question for Midsummer Scream panel ticket and behind the scene tour giveaway. You have to guess the exact amount. We're in Springfield, you know what that means.
See them working on something back there. The door's open, the teams are working. Oh wait, 2 mini trusses have appeared right there. Like that truss was there, I think that one, but now these little ones have appeared. I think they were painting and they're trying to kick off the paint. Is that what's going on over there?
I'm excited for when they start building the facades outside so we get to see that evolve, but they're still working. They're painting today. That's the update, what's going on inside the house. I did ride Men in Black last time I was here. So they did the refurb and it looks great. They worked on a bunch of the animatronics. There's like fog throughout the entire attraction. It really kind of like makes it more spooky and kind of like a late night New York apocalypse is happening with all the aliens. You can still hear them working on everything. I think it's all just like stage work right now. They've finished, I think, everything up here with the truss and the lighting and the speakers. There's nothing really new happening up there. It's all happening down there. All right, so we still need for Orlando, but 2 more IP houses, the scare zones, the Lagoon Show, and then also the stage show. The Lagoon Show is IP based. I think people are gonna enjoy it. It is heavily rumored there's a bunch of classic characters in the stage show. There's gonna be something for everyone this year between the IP houses, the scare zones, the shows, the Lagoon shows. Coconut Club is also returning. We also got tribute. So there's gonna be a lot of different things to cover this HHN season. I just cannot wait because we're in July now. July, and then August is when we start. I just got a notification on my phone. I hit 20 million views on my YouTube videos. Lord have mercy. That's a lot. People have watched me jump around in a dinosaur costume 21 million times. Holy crap, 21 million. Lord have mercy. And that's long form. Short form, that's pretty easy. Long form, that's insane. 21 million. Again, I just want to thank every single one of you who watch me just dork around at a theme park talking about nerdy stuff, getting excited over truss and cords and Easter eggs. So thank you everyone who's watched. It means a lot over these years. We are 12 years in. So 12 years, 21 million views. Oh my God. But thank you.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight.
Not seeing too many changes with Club Gourd. They did add the do not climb sign, I think, on all the little dance stages. Yeah, so each stage got the do not climb. And then nothing's been placed back here. No cords, no boxes. But after 4th of July, we're gonna get some stuff. The construction walls are still up, blocking Boris's office, and the Easter eggs. So again, we've seen the lights over there. We got the lights over there, but we got truss that popped up in New York. The Secret Life of Pets characters have been removed, and this massive truss has appeared. So what is this gonna be? It's gonna be a set piece. They're gonna add a lot of stuff to it. It's not gonna look like this and just have some lights on it. So again, like we talked about a couple of videos ago, the New York Scare Zone is gonna be big. It's gonna be a big scare zone. That's why we have set pieces over here. There's gonna be a lot of stuff happening. Original stuff, heavily rumored IP stuff, a lot of stuff happening throughout all of New York. So it's gonna excite a lot of people, but the truss has appeared here. They do have like the rubber impact matting below each truss. So this has the matting, that has the matting. This is just kind of set up like the standard truss. Again, no lights, no cords, no nothing yet, no details. After 4th of July, we'll get some stuff. Okay, Universal. This is a big stage. Holy crap. Look at the size of this. I don't think I've ever seen a stage this big in New York. What is going to be happening on this thing? All right, so look at this. It comes out here. Looks like a performer could come out to here. I'm sure there'll be tons of different show moments happening. But look, there's going to be so much happening on the stage. There's so much room. And what's going on with this? What is that right there? So remember we talked about the cords that were connected to the box? You know, they've been waiting to be plugged into something because they were saving it for something special. So it continues again all the way to where the stage is right there. So the cords are already set in place for the stage. There's two different staircases for the performers. So there's gonna be a lot of movement happening on the stage. They can walk up here, and then we have some distressing on these stairs. Kind of looks like some brick or stonework on these stairs leading up to another stage up there. It's a multi-level stage that has popped up. But just look at the girth of the stage. Let's see how many feet it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's 4 feet right there. All right, this piece looks to be 7 feet. Again, not perfect measurements. I'm just going by my foot size. All right, that piece is 19. So what is that? A 30-foot long stage? So again, there'll be so much action happening throughout the scare zone, and they'll have this massive show moment happening on the stage that just got installed. See if there's anything happening with the fast construction over here. All right, Ghostbusters Firehouse still has not been filled in yet. They still have not finished the outside of the building. They were working on the track the other day. It does look like the pile of dirt is getting smaller. They're bringing something up. Like they're bringing up a cow out of a raptor pen. What's going on? What are they bringing up? Now 4th of July is happening tomorrow, but they've added all the light bulbs now. So they have red, white, and blue light bulbs that are going truss to truss to truss. But again, this will all be removed after 4th of July. And then nothing has really changed with the lighting here for the scare zone where all the Minions stuff is. But what has changed is the facades for HHN Hollywood. Okay, so TLEV Media tweeted out this HHN 2026 update. The facade is already beautiful. I'm wondering if there's going to be music playing in front, or maybe we hear a story before. So we can see some better shots of how the railing looks, the roofing. There's a lot of details that are going into this facade where the Parisian courtyard is. So I'm excited to see it evolve. They also posted tear trim update. This is awesome. The infamous house facades are taking different shape. HHN peeps trust the process. So as you know, we talked about like last week, everybody's freaking out about the old Blumhouse shape. Blumhouse is not coming. So you see they've switched it up a little bit, and it's gonna be a different sort of facade, but it's gonna look different, kind of in the shape of a circus tent. So we might see some clowns pop up on the tear trim. You can see a better shot of how some of those stages are gonna look. So you'll have characters on these stages. They'll have like trigger buttons, and they'll hit a trigger, and then a different show scene will happen when you're walking through there. Better shot of the Bates Motel, and they're kind of building it all out. So do not worry, no Blumhouse facades. John did talk about it. It's fun to watch you all panic. You probably not good to ride the tram so frequently. It's not good for your stress levels. Again, John confirming no Blumhouse. We just popped into the main Universal gift shop. Looks like they have a new Squishmallow, $30. One of the Minions, nice and squishy and soft. So much happening with the Fast and Furious coaster. All right, let's go to City Walk and see it from that angle. There's a big addition. The one we've been waiting for has finally appeared. Oh, it happened. They did it. Installed the top of the spike. Holy crap. Okay, so we saw this got installed 2 days ago. I guess last night they installed this piece, so now it officially loops all around. But look at this. Come all the way up, and the top of the spike is there. They got some flags up there. Fast and Furious, 25 years, and the American flag at the top of the spike. So you'll kind of go up, twist a little bit, and then like come back down. That thing is freaking insane. Look at that. It's all up. So yeah, I think almost all of this coaster track has now officially been installed. But just look at the skyline now of Universal. We got the arch. We got the spike. Oh, I cannot wait to ride this coaster. Good news. They have done team member previews for the Hollywood version. So we will probably have the annual pass holder previews, and then it'll open. So hopefully by the end of July, the Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift in Hollywood will be open. The sweat drippage is in full effect right now. Let's go back to the office to the AC. We'll get some more stuff to go over. Okay guys, we're back in the office. So we have a couple more HHN 2026 updates. They have finally released some live action commercials. So they released one for Sinners.
Welcome to your worst nightmare at Universal Halloween Horror Nights.
And then they also released one for Stranger Things.
Welcome to your worst nightmare at Universal Halloween Horror Nights.
So we will be seeing more of these being released with the IPs, and then probably one longer, larger kind of live action HHN trailer will be released closer to the event. So no HHN update tomorrow. It's 4th of July. So on that note, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button and join the family.
We love the family.
Because I'm gonna keep you up to date on all things Halloween Horror Nights and Universal Studios around the country. I love you all. I'll see y'all very soon.
To your worst nightmare.
So what is that? A 30-foot long
Pooterate?